has created some of the most iconic hero costumes of all time. They're nice to look at, but actually wearing them is a completely different story. Captain America himself, Chris Evans, didn't realize how much he disliked the first Cap costume until he had to revisit it years later. In Avengers Endgame, there's a pretty iconic scene between two Captain Americas, the one from Endgame's 2023 and the other from 2012's Avengers. But obviously, to get that scene, Chris Evans had to put his original 2012 costume back on, and he realized pretty quickly just how uncomfortable the outfit was in comparison to some of the Captain's later designs. In a gag reel posted to Marvel Entertainment's YouTube 4 years ago, about 25 seconds in is a short clip of Evans messing with his helmet. He says, "I can't believe I made a whole movie with this thing." The helmet does look uncomfortable, I will admit, but as a younger me once said, if it's comfortable, it ain't cute. That's just a running theme for all superhero costumes, I think. The more uncomfortable it is, the cooler it looks on camera. Chris Evans doubled down on his opinions on the Cap suit in an interview with Lad Bible TV. Evans was asked if he thinks MCU Cap has the best suit of any superhero, to which he disagreed. Evans shared that he believes Cap's suit is the one for the character, but measuring it up against every other Avenger, Evans has different preferences. He shared that he prefers the look of Thor, Black Widow, and Spider-Man more. He didn't share why. This is definitely a controversial take, as Cap's suit is a fan favorite. Personally, I really like the suit, but let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Eternals actor Barry Keoghan has expressed that his Druig costume was anything but cool. Literally. Don't worry, Barry did clarify he loved the look of the costume, it was just too hot. Some filming for Eternals happened on the Canary Islands, known for being a warm place. Despite being on some beautiful islands, Keoghan did not get to relax, as he was under contract to wear about 3 layers of clothing. In an interview with HeyYouGuys.com, Keoghan shared that he complained about wearing the suit every day. He added, especially as we were filming in the heat. I do not blame him for being uncomfortable. His suit was a dark color and he had to move around a lot, so him being too hot to handle in the costume, fair. Keoghan clarified that he loved the look of the costume, saying it did the character justice, so at least it was worth it. He went on to praise all the Eternals costumes, saying all of the outfits are unique to the character and all of the costumes stood out very well. Though the actor might have hated to wear his costume, he loved that he got to use his natural accent. Barry Keoghan is from Dublin, Ireland, and he thought it was nice that he got to use his own identity, his own Irish accent. He was also a big fan of his Eternals co-stars, so he still really had a great time working on the movie, even if the 3 layers of his costume made him the Human Torch. Simu Liu made history as the first Asian lead character in an MCU movie. However, not every aspect of playing Shang-Chi was as amazing as that. Turns out the suit looks cool but is wildly uncomfortable because it has too many zippers. The actor shared this information in an interview with Toronto Life. He did this by saying how he did love the suit and that putting it on for the first time was an impactful moment for him, so impactful he actually almost cried. But like most hero suits, it took about 5 wears for the novelty to wear off and for the suit to prove how uncomfortable it could be. In the interview, Simu Liu said, "I was like, oh my god, I hate this thing, why are there so many zippers?" Sebastian Stan played the mysterious Winter Soldier in the MCU, but he has been open about his dislike for certain aspects of his character's look. Sure, is the metal arm probably hard to move? Yeah. In fact, in an interview with Jimmy Kimmel, Stan revealed some tricks to get the arm on because it is difficult. But shockingly, Stan actually dislikes the Winter Soldier's headpieces more, specifically the goggles. In an interview with BBC Radio 1, Stan shared that he was always a little bit hesitant with them because they block his eyes, which for an actor can make it harder to give a performance. The eyes are the window to the soul, take those away, and it gets a lot harder to portray certain emotions. Stan did reveal that he enjoys the Winter Soldier's mask. He said, "The mask was kind of a cool thing because I knew what the Winter Soldier had looked like in the comic books." Another look Stan didn't mind was the eyeliner, saying it was a bold choice that made sense for the character at the time. The founding superhero of the MCU, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, debuted in 2008, and his iconic suit was soon loved around the world, loved by everyone except RDJ, it appears. But his reasons for disliking the famous suit, in my opinion, are totally reasonable. Turns out, almost everything was practical in that first movie. Apparently, Marvel wanted to save on CGI costs at the time, something they are not concerned about now. He was actually wearing the armor that he built in a cave with a box of scraps, and then one he built in his workspace. The one he built in an actual workspace caused the most problems for the actor though. In an interview with David Letterman for his series My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, RDJ RDJ revealed that wearing the helmet was the hardest part of existing in the suit. He shared a story about the filming with it. They were shooting a scene where Iron Man had just landed on a roof and then was supposed to move forward. Sounds easy enough. It wasn't. Turns out that once that mask comes down, visibility is almost at zero. Then go on the LED lights for the eyes, and RDJ said he was absolutely blinded. By the time the last Avengers came around, RDJ was over the helmet, and Marvel had the budget for CGI, so he could refuse wearing the helmet, instead opting for 2 dots on the side of his face so they could CGI everything in later. Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is an example of a character where CGI is almost always required for the super suit. It would be cool if Ruffalo could actually just Hulk out, but I don't think that will ever be possible, so CGI it is. But the method of capturing the actor to get the Hulk to the big screen is something Ruffalo has said is embarrassing. So even though he doesn't really get an official superhero suit, he does get a man-canceling CGI suit, and he gets to wear that beside all his co-stars wearing their very cool superhero outfits. In an interview with GQ, the actor said, "It was so humiliating, and all the actors, whenever I walked on set, would just start laughing at me because they were in their cool superhero costumes and I'm wearing these ridiculous pajamas." Poor Ruffalo, but he does look great in the movies, so hopefully it was all worth it. Tom Holland plays the MCU's friendly neighborhood Spider-Man and looks great doing it. Every spider suit he's worn has been iconic, but not every suit has been comfortable. The actor shared in an interview with IMDb that his least favorite suit was the Iron Spider. Sure, the entire thing was probably uncomfortable, but Holland got specific on what exactly annoyed him so much about the fit. There were these gauntlets on his wrists and they limited his mobility. Though that was the most annoying of the suits, according to Holland, that doesn't mean all the others are perfect. Some of the suits didn't have zippers, others only let him eat or drink through a hole under the eye, and overall they aren't very warm. Tom's girlfriend in real life and in the movies, Zendaya, also seems to dislike the spider suits, expressing her concerns on the Graham Norton show, bringing up that the mask is attached to the suit, so it's hard for Holland to just take it off. She shared that she was concerned because Holland often does intense stunts, and should he ever get sick from them, he wouldn't be able to remove the suit in time. There was also the time on the first few Spider-Man films where Tom's mother got involved. It was difficult for the actor to use the washroom as, again, the suit was one piece and tough to take off, so there were times when the actor wouldn't use the washroom for the entire filming day. Holland's mother was not too happy when she heard the news and worked it out so her son always got a bathroom break. Holland has shared that his favorite suit was the homemade one. It was the most comfortable. Paul Bettany went from being Jarvis, the voice, taking home a decent salary for going into a studio and saying a few lines, to becoming Vision, covered in red paint and a heavy suit on set every day. Quite a switch up for the actor. For the most part, the actor frequently shares that he'd had a positive experience working on Marvel sets. However, WandaVision was a slightly different story. It was also the first time Vision as a character was the leading role. In the past, Vision would be a major player, but in the big Avengers films, there were so many characters that actual screen time was limited. Whereas in WandaVision, Paul was likely on set like almost every day. The suit apparently got so tough to wear, the actor flipped out and demanded it be taken off. An unusual action for the usually calm actor. In an interview, Paul shared that everyone was really lovely and responded well to the actor's request, helping him out of the suit so he could take 5 to 10 minutes to breathe. About the incident, Paul said, "It's so embarrassing to talk about because obviously you're getting paid to wear an uncomfortable suit, but after 5 days in a row of just being encased in this thing, you're like, I gotta get it off my chest." Before we move on to the next actor, let's all acknowledge Paul Bettany's and Elizabeth Olsen's acting skills. They delivered incredible and emotional performances while Paul was either painted all red or all blue like a Smurf and covered in dots. Hats off to them. The MCU's first Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, truly left his mark on the MCU, delivering a fan-favorite performance in the fan-favorite and Oscar-winning movie Black Panther. Not only did he give a great performance, he looked great doing it, but because it was cute, it ain't comfortable. Lots of actors on this list shared that they didn't start to feel uncomfortable in their suits and still wearing them for a few days. That wasn't the case for Chadwick. The actor shared that he felt suffocated in the suit from the first try-on and immediately wanted it off. This would have been for his first appearance in Captain America: Civil War. Boseman said, "It was suffocating. Literally, it closed off every possibility of air getting to you. I was in it, put the mask on, I said, hey, you gotta get me out of this. I think it begins to feel like skin after a while, but it takes time to get to that place." So by the time he was filming Black Panther, the actor felt a lot better in the costume, and that's why he looked so comfortable on screen. It probably shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that Scarlett Johansson is uncomfortable in her all-leather skin-tight suits. boots. Unsurprisingly, they were warm. Johansson once said she had to wring out her socks at the end of the day. Then there were the stunts she had to do and all the movement and fighting. Her costumes, they would get wrecked quickly and needed to be replaced sometimes every few days. She compared the experience to tires, saying, "They're like tires, you would just go through sets of them. Every time you get a new costume, you just feel really nice, and then 3 days later, it's like the discount widow." But the black leather actually paled in comparison to one of her potential costumes, one she hated so much we've never seen it, and it's the complete opposite of her usual look. Scarlett described the scrapped costume as tennis whites and a blonde wig. Seems very out of place for the character, but she is supposed to be a sort of shapeshifter spy extraordinaire, so I guess it fits. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and make your mark on the comment section down below. This is Juliana signing off. Bye!